Oh, good morning. It is April 2nd. I am starting to get up. Um, Slowly. It's pretty windy. I slept really well here next to the road. No cars came by after, like, the two that I recorded earlier. So, it was pretty quiet all night long, which is good. I've got probably going to try to make 7.7 miles today. We'll see when I get there to the location. It's an old shelter site. The shelter got destroyed by Helena. So that's my goal for today. We'll see when I get there if it's early enough that I can push on, or if I should stop for the night, and how tired I am, obviously. So we'll see how that goes. Right. So my tent setup last night was scuffed because there wasn't a lot of room here. I mean, I set up in this fire pit, and this tree was blocking my other half. So my tent did fall down once due to the wind, but I managed to get it back up right. Oh. Lovely. I got sticks in my tent. I gotta get in there and get those out. So I'm walking along the section where Beauty Spot is. Unfortunately, it's completely foggy and the high wind, so I'm walking on the road next to the Beauty Spot. The Beauty Spot is a beautiful bald mountain with great views on a nice day. Today is not a nice day, so I'm taking the easy route. You can judge me if you want, but I'm out here doing this, and there is really no point in being up on top of a bald mountain. So yeah, there's no point in being up on top of Beauty Spot in this, because you're not going to see anything, you're just going to be cold and damp. I'm considering crawling back into setting up my tent, getting back into bed. It's fucking cold out here. Excuse my French. Although I don't suppose the F word is actually French. I don't know why we say, excuse my French, when you swear. That just never really made any sense to me, but whatever. It's cold. I don't have pants on, so that's not ideal. Yeah, I'm probably going to get back in my tent at the next gap. So it's still the 2nd. It's only 11 o'clock, but the wind, the fog, it's just too cold out there. I set up my tent. Looks like the sun's trying to break through. It's supposed to get up in the 70s today. If it warms up, I will get up and start hiking again. But right now, I'm just freezing. This wind is just non-stop, and it's rough out here today. I guess I probably should have kept my pants. Oh well, too late now. Good morning. It's 10:30, April 3rd. I only walked about a mile and a half yesterday. And today I have just finished packing my gear. I'm really not feeling well. Got an upset stomach, so I'm gonna go back into town. I'm on this dirt road here that leads back down into Irwin. So I'm gonna take it and go into Irwin and try to figure out what's wrong with me. But yeah, I'm really feeling nauseous. I got an upset stomach, and I just had some diarrhea, so I'm gonna out of the woods for a little while anyway. I'll be back on trail tomorrow. It's a 11:48. I've been walking for more than an hour down this dirt road. I texted Steve from Unicoi Shuttles, but he hasn't responded. I tried calling his phone, and it said he's out of the service area, which probably means he's in some valley somewhere. I'm almost back to the paved road where I'm gonna put my poles on my pack and stick out my thumb. Hopefully I'll be able to get a ride into Irwin. Probably gonna get a hotel room for the night. Like I said, I'm feeling full. My stomach is upset, and I've had diarrhea, so it's not pleasant, and definitely not pleasant up on a mountain. I thought about just zeroing in my tent today, except for the diarrhea that makes that hard. But I figured if I did that, I'd still need to go into town tomorrow to get some more supplies. So Yeah, I'm not sure what made me ill. Hopefully it's not noro or anything stupid like that. But I'm almost down off this mountain. So I am at Carver's Gap. 15 miles to s02e19. This is a beautiful section of trail that I've hiked before. I'm looking to do about 2 miles today. There's a water source up on top of the bald, and I want to camp up there and get some beautiful views for tonight and tomorrow. I was at a beauty spot yesterday, and I got sick and didn't feel well, so I went into town and got some resupply and spent the night in town, and now I'm hiking out. I got a shuttle from one Unicoi shells to Carver Gap, just because. Anyway, we're gonna do some uphill hiking for a little bit today, but it should be pretty. On top of Round Bald, the view is just spectacular. Got about a mile left of where I'm going to camp tonight, on top of that mountain over there somewhere. Not all the way at the top, because the top is 0.6 off trail, and I'm not going that far off trail. But there's water up there somewhere, so I'll go up and I'll find someplace to camp. And I should have a good sunrise view in the morning, hopefully. Oh, careful.
How you doing, man?
Not too bad. I'm on top of Jane Bald, and I was hiking along, and I noticed that all of these briar stems are cut off at about 6 inches. It's like somebody came through here with a mower and mowed the heck out of this. Although I have no idea how they would have gotten up here. But I mean, it's all even, so they had to have been mowed. Which is pretty good, I guess. I mean, it means somebody is maintaining this as a bald, which is great. I really hate it when you get to the top of a bald and it's grown over.
I slept. I didn't sleep very well. The wind never stopped blowing. It was like this all night long. If I'd used the, Thurston claims that their tent ties down with just 4 tie-down points, but I used 8. If I hadn't used 8, the tent probably would have blown away. Or at least blown over. But I used 8, and it was okay. But it wasn't very restful. Just non-stop, all night long, wind blowing.
So the wind never stopped all night long. My tent was just blowing. I'm gonna get off this exposed ridge top to the shelter in about 1.5 miles. I'll have breakfast there, because I can't possibly cook in this shit. Jesus Christ. As soon as I was off the ridge, I was out of the wind. Oh man, sleeping up there was such a nightmare. I'll never stay there again. That was a bad idea. I should have just pushed on 1.5 miles to the shelter. Or the campsites. I think there's a campsite a couple of tenths of a mile past where I got the water. But staying up on that ridge top was a right nightmare. The wind just never stops blowing. So that was a mistake. Oh well. I'm up and hiking at 7:47. I figure, like I said, 1.5 miles to the shelter. I'll stop there and make breakfast. I got some oatmeal in for breakfast. I'd like to make 9 miles today to Doll Flats. There's supposed to be heavy rain all day tomorrow. Depending on how heavy it actually is, I may or may not hike. We'll have to see. I'll play it by ear. Really, I mean, if I wake up and it's downpour, I'm not getting out of my tent in that nonsense. There's a shelter and a little bit of like a mile, and then the next real place to stop. I mean, there's a lot of places to stop, but the next place I could get shelter is 19E. There's used to be a hostel there. There is no longer a hostel there. Oh, there is, but it's the station, and I stayed there before. It's a bar. I'm not really interested in staying there. Again, they make noise until late at night. It's more of a party spot. Not really my cup of tea at all. So I won't be staying there. There used to be the Mountain Harbor, but due to Helene, they lost their hostel, and they're in the process of rebuilding. But, well, they're in the process of rebuilding, so I won't be staying there. They do have some bed and breakfast type rooms, but they're expensive, and I've already spent more money on lodging than I want to this month, so I'm not going to do that again. This is the water source where I got water last night. It's pretty good, all things considered. Water dripping pretty steadily off of that moss. I was able to fill my 3-liter s02e19 bag in about 2 minutes, I guess. Hello. It is Saturday, April 5th, and I am hiking north, just leaving the Stan Marie shelter, where I stopped for a long breakfast. Part of me was considering staying at the shelter for tonight, and tomorrow's supposed to be really rainy, and I probably won't want to hike. But hey, if I'm at the shelter, then at least I have room to move around, and I'm not stuck laying in my tent all day. But it's only 10 o'clock. I can't stop for the day at 10 o'clock after just 2 miles, so I'll try to do a few more miles today. There's a campsite I stayed at last year in about 4 miles with a good water source, so I'm probably going to try to shoot for there. So these leaves right here, those are ramps, I'm pretty sure. You can tell that they're ramps because they have reddish stems. And if you were to pull them up, they would have a white bulb, which is edible. It is still Saturday, April 5th. I am pushing on up Little Bald. I got about a mile and a half to the top of this mountain. And then I'll be pretty close to where I'm going to camp. It's still early in the day, and I could push further. But I slept poorly last night in the wind tunnel, and I'm pretty exhausted. So I'm going to do 2 more miles and go to sleep. Oh. Look at that view. Oh, so pretty. I don't think the camera does justice to it. It's just so beautiful. And that looks like an old apple tree right there. It's hard to tell for certain, but it certainly looks like an old apple tree. I'm almost up to the top of Little Hump. There's a pretty spectacular view from that direction. It's too windy for the drone, which is a shame because I'd definitely put it up if it was a little less windy. But also, there's other hikers out here. It's a weekend today. There are a lot of day hikers, Boy Scouts, all sorts of people out here on the trail today. So, Roan Mountain area is probably one of the most popular areas other than outside of the Smokies and the Grayson Highlands in the south. So, look at that. Just spectacular. Wish you were here, Ian. Oh man, you're missing out on such a beautiful adventure. The trees on top of this bald mountain are really small. The probably due to the wind preventing them from growing taller. These bald mountains were originally bald as a place to, keep the herd animals, cows, goats, whatever. So they ate down all the grasses and the scrubs and everything. But now that there's no animals up here, it tends to grow back and not be bald anymore, which is less fun since you get such great views off the bald mountains. Oh, I'm almost to the top now. It really is windy. What a view. Check out that house over there. I can't really see. Hopefully I'm pointing in the right direction. Right there on the top of the mountain. I can't see the screen, so I'm not sure I'm pointing at the right thing. But it's a gorgeous spot for a house. Is that big bald in front of us?
Big hump.
Big hump, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm not going up there today, but
Yeah, it's a good spot to camp down there in Bradley Gap ahead of us.
yeah, that's where I'm heading.
I love it down there.
Yeah, that's where I camped last year. What a view. The camera just doesn't do it justice, I don't think. You can see for miles in all directions. And then that's Big Hump where I'll be going up tomorrow, but I'm almost at the campsite where I'll be spending the night and possibly tomorrow, depending on the weather, obviously. I don't want to try going over a bald in a thunderstorm. That seems suicidal. We'll see what the weather entails tomorrow, though. So the Thurston claims that their tents can be set up with just 4 stakeout points, and while that's technically true, they offer 8. And the wind that I had last night, if I hadn't used all 8, I would have undoubtedly been blown away. Well, not blown away, but the tent would have come down. So I've got that one there. That's one of the corners. So that's a corner. This line right there links to the top. And like I said, these extra tie down points came with the tent, and I do use them. So I've got 8 tie down points around the tent to keep the tent held down. I'm camping in this little grassy area because it's supposed to rain, and if I'm camped on this dirt, then there's a high likelihood that the tent will get flooded. But on the grass, it should be fine. One thing I always do, is I lay down on the close cell phone pad to make sure that the place where I'm setting up my tent is level, unless I have no options. If I have no options, then I just take what I get and usually have a bad night. But here, I checked, it's level, I should be good. I tried to record the setup with my drone, but I got all sorts of high altitude warnings, and it just wouldn't work. So